Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Metamorphosis podcast. My name is Milan, and today is going to be about you, actually, not me. Maybe I'm going to be talking about myself in the end. But this is going to be about you. This is going to be about you who are watching this, who are reading this, who are actually interested in me or this. And I want you to know that that's the first thing we're going to be separating or breaking apart. So what I need at your attention, I'm going to do this with my cool speakers. So I'm going to put it white. So I'm going to do exactly that so that I can see that I have your attention and that you're here with me if you're watching me on YouTube. And if not, I'm going to get straight into it. Today's topic is never give up on yourself. And I mean it. Never give up on yourself. Because no one else is going to do for you what you can do for you. And I'm sure you've heard this so many times of others telling you things, telling you, yeah, I won't give up on you, I believe in you. And they will, and they do. But have in mind that when people say, I believe in you, they very likely believe in an image of you. And an image is formed normally. It is a normal human process that we can always avoid. We can avoid looking someone through the lens of who we want them to be and instead look them as they are. And that's normally something we will notice that is very confusing to the brains, to the mind, to actually see someone for who they are, which is more easily done through observation of what this person does, how this person is like. And how is that related to today's topic? It's related because here I am filming my 25th, I think 26th episode of my podcast, and I never thought I was going to be doing something like this. I think if you told me that I was going to film a podcast and record it on my own YouTube channel with my camera, other camera, microphone, interactive speakers that I can control at my will freely, that I got as a part of I'll call it business, but it wasn't what it was meant to be. Pildansparken, for all of those who do know and who don't know, I'll happily explain. During COVID, there weren't any dances happening in the park in Sweden. I live in Malmö in Sweden, and there was this park called Pildansparken, and I remember going to dances for some period of time and meeting some really fantastic people, or I thought they were. Again, image formation, image creation. And I went there and I met amazing people at the dance. And the guy who was there, who had his dances, had a speaker. And I thought to myself, well, I really love these dances, and I would actually like to create this dance without disturbing this guy's dance and taking anything away from him. I want to create something that I want people to enjoy. And again, I want to give, I don't want to take. And I listened to this guy and I saw what was happening at the event, at the dance, which is called social dancing, because it was right within the pandemic, so-called pandemic, and when people were isolating, and it was a really cool name. And I really love wordplay as someone who is a linguist and also is interested in language, tradition, culture, and so many other aspects of existence and communication and human invention. So I just bought a speaker, one of these babies. I think, this one is the one I bought first. This one here. I cannot activate that one separately, but the first one I bought was on the right, if you're watching me on YouTube. So I bought a speaker and I said to myself, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it different. And I would still not ask people of money. I would just say, hey, you're welcome to donate. You're welcome to help and contribute, because it will make sure that I'm showing up. And I'm not going to lie. I don't lie to people, and I don't want to lie to people about who I am, because I don't want to be ashamed of who I am. And who I am at the moment was simply a bit lost and searching for some purpose and company and friends and wanting to give back, to give basically. And I formed this, well, I would call it tribe, but it's not a tribe in my definition, in my vocabulary, because tribe actually is a functional unit that has some kind of functionality inherent in hierarchy, which people that I was knowing at the time did not know or do not respect. And that's a different discussion in and of itself. I am, however, grateful that that happened, because I've learned so much about what kind of friends I want and don't want in my life, and what kind of people I want and don't want in my life. And owing to these two babies right here behind me, I have actually created something that has allowed me to be where I am today, which is in an apartment that I dreamt of, living the life that I dreamt of, owing to the people who helped. So they would come, we would go and dance, and we would actually form what I used to refer as friendships, community, so-called community, and they would donate. They would send money. In Sweden, there's a way to swish money. Swish is called the app, and then you can send the money to whoever you want. It's like a bank transfer, but it's more simple. And I've been doing this for, well, I think it's been a year or a year and a half. I'm not even sure. Time passes really quickly. And again, I met someone, I met a woman, she moved in and everything, things started going their own way. And when we parted ways, there were attempts to sabotage my event as, I guess, retaliation from the breakup and whatnot. That's still something that is a mystery to me, so I'm simply discussing of what has happened. And I realized that all those people that I had in my so-called tribe, that I used to refer to as friends, that I thought would come, well, I wouldn't say for me, but for the dance and maybe to see me, maybe to spend time together, was actually not true. It was not true. And I had a completely distorted image of what actually was going on, because I realized one important thing, and that is that I did not have a solid communication with any of those people, and that we were united by that dance, by that event, but we're not united ourselves. We were not connected with ourselves. We were not in connection with each other because we could not see each other for who we were genuinely. All we saw was some diversity, and there were very interesting things to hear from each and every one. But it was mostly focused on this, as I like to call it, pseudo-spirituality. Like this, you will see that in many people who believe that they are spiritual, and they would engage in all these actually religious activities, such as praising to Shivas and gods and similar love and light people, as I like to call them. Although I don't like to label and categorize people, for lack of a better word and expression, I'm using that, and with hopes to be understood for what I'm saying. And when I realized what kind of people I've been surrounded by and with, of course, appreciation for everything that has happened, I understood, well, I can do better than this. And not meaning to say that there's anything wrong or there was anything wrong with these people. It's, if you're a man, it's the same thing as you looking at a woman that is attractive, and you would really want to go and talk to the woman, but you can see something is off, like either too much makeup or the way she dresses or the way she treats other people. It's something that is a red flag, but a red flag doesn't mean, again, there's something wrong with anyone. It's a red flag because that's something that you do not like to be present in your life and to eat your energy away. It can be a way of communication, it can be physical interaction, it can be whatever. You identify the behavior you don't like, and you simply act in accordance with that. You do not allow anyone to humiliate you. And if someone does, then know that they don't love you. The reason I'm telling you this story is because I could have easily given up on myself in that period. I could have easily said, yes, you are right. Everyone who has tried to sabotage this dance by creating a new one, another dance at the same time, could have accomplished that. But I always believe that I don't believe in karma. I speak to people about it. There is the concept of what goes around comes around. And I genuinely believe that we get what we deserve in life without any insinuation that people who've harmed me on my journey or anyone else on their journey is going to get what they deserve, so to say, because that would all, again, be a negative karma on my behalf. But what I wish for people to understand is to ask yourselves why you do something, to question the intentions behind the things that you do. Because the only thing you have is yourself. You don't have anyone else. You don't, even these things in my apartment, even these fantastic speakers, this beautiful microphone, everything, the recorder, the camera 1, camera 2, everything that I have is temporary, and it serves a purpose. And it's important that its purpose is fulfilled. The reference of Jacobian gun, which I love so much, if you've heard of it, Jacobian gun implies that if a gun is mentioned in a novel and it's not fired, then there is no purpose and meaning to mentioning that gun, because that gun's purpose has not been fulfilled. So if you can think of yourself as a gun that needs to be fired, because that is your purpose, otherwise don't create a gun. You can define yourself in any way possible, and you can see if you're actually being your fully authentic self by simply seeing, are you fulfilled in what you're doing, and have you given up on yourself? I could have given up on myself at the time I realized that people who were coming and visiting my dance are actually turning against me, believing the rumors instead of talking to me. And again, as a man, and this is the core of my work, working with men and help them understanding relationships and one another. When women and men break up, when us men break up with women, we are often faced with retaliation and retaliative actions. And it is very difficult if women see themselves as victims, which is again a pathology in and of itself, but still it happens and we need to understand it and we need to approach it very carefully and mindfully. To us, ourselves, not become victims of that. So for us to not become victims of self-victimization and other victims that have enabled themselves to be victims. So what you can do for yourself is simply believe in yourself and believe that what you're doing with the highest intent. And not only believe in that you actually do that you do things with highest intention, to understand that you're doing things not to harm someone, but to actually be of service to someone, to become someone through your work and through what you do. I decided to pause that event, that Pildansparken, because I was not respected by the woman that I have broken up with at the time, lack of respect of personal boundaries, complete lack of interest by these people I used to refer to as friends, and how they approached me and how they approached the entire situation that was happening at the time. So I simply understood, okay, if no one is going to come and hold me, so to say, for lack of a better word, if I'm alone in all this, if I'm battling all this on my own, then how about I learn how to battle? How about I learn how to fight? How about I focus on building a life that will actually help me be proud of myself and who I am? And here I am. I'm having a lovely YouTube channel. I'm having a lovely apartment with anything I could ever have imagined and wanted, being nothing but grateful for that, and wanting to help men primarily, and secondarily everyone else, women. There's no everyone else, to do the same thing, to go believe in yourself, to not give up on yourselves, and to do what you want to do, and to get it as I got it. And I'm still getting it. It's only growing. It's only getting better. And there is no easy way to this. There is no pill you can swallow and you just become that thing that you hope you're going to become. This is work. This is dedication. This is discipline. This is enjoyment. This is, feeling where you are, understanding where you are, how you got there, what you did well, what you did wrong. Did you tell the truth? Great. Why didn't you tell the truth if you weren't? Can you make up for that? I think one of the most defining factors of my personal success was my ability to tell the truth, and tell the truth radically, to be radically honest, to be, no, I don't like that because of this. No, I'm not going to go have coffee with you because I do not like the way you treat other people. No, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you because I do not see you to be the mother of my children that I would really like to have. And these are really things that I think many people will see as really, really harsh and as very inconsiderate, so to say. But you owe it to yourself to tell the truth so that you can learn about yourself. And that always puts you at a risk of harming someone, of hurting someone. And unless you're not doing that deliberately, you're in the clear. You're good. You're not hurting someone deliberately. You're simply communicating the truth of your existence and your being. You're not one of those people who are stuck in the my truth, your truth loop. You're simply communicating what is truth so that the world can bend and twist and evolve around that. Because you are truth. You are part of this world. If you say, if you say, for example, I'm homosexual, I'm heterosexual and I love women, then that's the law. And if you feel something else in the moment, you communicate it. And the only way for you to feel it and to feel into it is in the moment. If you say, I love meat, and then maybe you realize one day you don't, you do exactly that. As long as you're not confused, as many people are confused about their sex, which is a discussion in and of itself that I'm not going to get in right now, because that discussion really needs to stop, and really we need to come to an understanding of what reality, objective reality is. But if you have a conflict within yourself and with yourself about what you're doing with your life, ask the question, is this who I am? Am I, for example, do I love women? I love women. Do I love working? I love working. And live life accordingly. Because if you live life disoriented and confused, and if you're not focused on what is important, even in the most difficult of moments, like that moment was for me when I lost that community, those people, those friends, or that I used to refer to them as friends, but then I realized it was false. It was not real, because none of the friends reached out to me. None of the friends treated me like friends. Like, hey, this happened. Can you tell me more? I'm worried. I didn't understand what happened. To learn the truth. That is for me the quality of a good friend, who will not be committed and devoted to focus on me and to forgive me things that I have done that were wrong, but to hold me accountable by telling the truth. This is the truth, and there is only one truth. Don't get wrong. Don't get mistaken by this. Anyone who tells you that there is my truth, your truth, that is someone who I personally have a lot of difficulties dealing with. This doesn't mean that that person is right or wrong. It simply means that if you and I sit in the same room and we look at this, for example, battery, and you say that you don't see a battery, that you see a unicorn or something, we have a problem of fragmentation. And if you're fragmented and I'm letting you in my life, then you're fragmenting me. You're not actually helping me be together and become wholesome. You're fragmenting me because we are pushing this culture of acceptance, of accepting everything that is not okay, such as being fat, such as being lazy, such as being hateful, vengeful, you name it. And the reality of that is, the only way for you to understand the truth is to go and ask the question. What is this? How can I understand this better? Any question that you want in your life, any question you want to ask in your life, you could, and you'll find the answer if you search for it. If you want to understand, how do I make money? This is how I make money. How do I, for example, build a successful podcast? You ask the question. Ask me, I'll help you. How do I learn how to speak with women? Ask how to speak with women. I want to get a family. I want to settle down. Don't settle down. Be your best. Ask, and you will be answered. Don't give up on yourself. Only you can take care of you in the way you want to be taken care of. No one else can do that. And for that, you need to know what it is that you want and what it is that you need. If it's money you need, You ask yourself, and you ask this beautiful, beautiful life, how do I make this amount of money? You ask that honestly, but for that to happen, you need to look around, see the world you're living in, understand the reality of the world you're living in, and then saying, oh, wow, I see where I live. Okay, I don't need to be a multimillionaire. I don't want to be this. I want this kind of life, and this kind of life, and this kind of family, and this kind of setting. And that is possible. But for that to happen, you need to understand that you need to see where you are right now. You need to fully, fully face where you are right now. And to calculate, if possible, what would it take and what it would take to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And write that down in reasonable goals. Divide it into as minuscule and small tasks as possible, simple tasks, daily tasks. Like, for example, what I'm doing today. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I'm actually standing. And I have a table that I bought specially so that I can stand and not sit while I work, while I record, while I am active. So I don't want to sit. I want to sit when I'm relaxing, when I'm reading, when I'm writing, and when I want to lay down and I'm sleeping. So I want to help my body become more healthy and active. And in that way, my body knows, my mind knows. I'm not giving up on myself. I'm remaining positive. I'm remaining active. It's not a form of conditioning. It's something that I genuinely, truly want to do. It's not something I'm pushing and pulling myself towards doing when in nature I don't feel like it. It is simply something that I love to do. I love being active. I love speaking. I love helping men. I love speaking to young men. And I live in Sweden, and I can tell you that men here haven't received sufficient support and love from the community, especially us who is considered an immigrant community, because I wasn't born in Sweden. I moved to Sweden. And since I'm not a naturalized Swede, it is extremely difficult for me to fit in this society. I speak the language, but I can feel that I do not fit in. I'm not complaining about not fitting in. I'm not one of those people who say, oh, please include me. I want to fit in. No, that is a natural process. I create value. And if I can create value, I can be included. For example, there was a tango community in Malmö. Still is. And I love tango. I love dancing. And because I was a good dancer, I had value to the community. So people would actually offer me to come for free, to not pay the entrance to festivals or events because I'm a good dancer, and they wanted me there because of the value I create and provide. Regardless of that, I chose to pay. But the underlying message of this is that your value dictates the conditions of your life. Your value to the world, your value to your communities, to yourself, to your friends, to your lovers, family, dictates and determines your value. If you're valuable to someone, they will invest in you. Believe me, I'm experiencing that right now. And I'm still having, I still haven't fully landed in accepting how one very beautiful and dear person to me in my life, how much she actually trusts in me and how much she invests in me and how grateful I am for that. And how I want that for people to experience, especially men. How I want men to experience what it means and how beautiful it is that someone doesn't give up on you and how you help them not give up on themselves. By you not giving up on yourself, following your dreams, following your ambitions. And by me doing that, I inspired this woman to do the same. She wanted a YouTube channel. She wanted a podcast of her own. She wanted a show on her own. And today she posted her first video. And that in and of itself is an acknowledgement enough of having changed the world. We want to matter, as that woman beautifully says. We want to matter, we want to belong. And that is more beautiful when it's a natural process than an imposed one. When you want to impose yourself somewhere, when you want to belong somewhere so badly that you would twist and bend yourself from not being who you truly and genuinely are. only to belong somewhere. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Focus on becoming the best you can be. The best you can be. Because you can be that in this very moment. And it's just the awareness. You don't have to do anything. You just need to be aware. Like right now in this moment, I can stand more straight. For me, for my posture, not for you, for myself. I can breathe better. I can have more control of my breathing. I can have a more easygoing flow when I speak, when I talk, when I communicate. To have more pauses. Then speak when I'm ready. All these things that you only need to be aware of. I know that the world will tell you, accept yourself as you are, love yourself. Yes, always. And at the same time, know what needs to be improved and what can be done better. Because time moves upwards. You move upwards. And as you grow, your needs will grow. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if you want to accomplish great things like I do, and I am, then that appetite grows and you need more. I need better, for example, better studio equipment. Maybe several cameras. Maybe I want all those cameras to be connected so I can flip between them more easily. Maybe I want a flip screen on my camera to see how I look when I speak to you. Maybe I want many things. For that, there is an investment of self, of work, of effort that is honest, genuine, and authentic. And I urge you to identify what that is so that you can discover what it is you need to do. Please do that. That will be it. Here's all the different effects if you're watching me on YouTube. And thank you for your attention from the bottom of my heart. If you're watching me on YouTube, please subscribe to this channel. Please like it. Share it with people who you think this might be necessary to hear. And thank you for your attention and time, which matters the most in this world, which is the biggest, most expensive currency. Thank you.